tenants in Edinburgh voted against stock transfer, and the explanation at the time was that there were £2 billion available for investment in housing. The minute the no vote was delivered, that money disappeared. We tried to explain to tenants that in actual fact there wasn't £2 billion, it was a £300 million debt write-off. What I would like to know is, do the panel support the idea of writing off the debt? The UK Treasury are the ones that we should be lobbying and getting that debt written off. It's not my debt.
Right. I get a very modest salary. I'm not on a £50,000 salary. I live a very modest lifestyle. I cannot afford to buy a home, and I want to know, what are you guys going to do to make sure that I can stay in my community, continue to work in my community, and get a house?
Well, I'll tell you what I take exception to with regard to your comments, was that when you said that this young lady belonged to 80% that want to buy their homes and not rent them, as if there was something wrong with wanting to rent property. There's people with lots of money rent property. So it just shows you how completely out of touch you are with ordinary people's needs. They're forced into buying because of this situation. And if they'd scrapped this right to buy, there'd be some confidence in building new social housing, if that's what you want to call it. There's nothing wrong, there's no stigma to be attached to living in a council house. I lived in a council house for many years. I can remember Harold Wilson bragging about building 300,000 council houses a year. When did we last have a housing minister talking like that? Housing is very, very important. And if you say we can't afford it, we can afford trade evidently. We can always afford wars, but we can never find money for the things that are vital to ordinary people.
Well, one of the questions I'd like to say to the panel, apart from protecting everyone's right to have a house, what are you going to do to protect their common good, their green spaces, their parks, which are being slowly eaten up and privatised?
Sorry, I'll introduce myself. My name's Eddie Dowsway, and I'm the regional list candidate for the Republican Party. Now, we're looking to get the law amended, not repealed, to allow pubs to have separate, well-ventilated smoking rooms. Now, the current law, as I see, was rushed through. It was pressured through with pressure from organisations such as ASH, who are anti-smoking, not non-smoking. They did not look at the effect the law would have on businesses and communities. You have especially for the older generation, you have, they used to go out for a pint, a cigarette, immigrant bingo or something. That has gone.
Would you like me to ask the room if they would support you or not?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to know?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I'd like to know. Should we do it? Yeah. Right. How many people would like to have what's suggested, which is to have smoking rooms?
Separate smoking rooms, well ventilated, in pubs and clubs. Would you like to have them? Yes? Would you not like to have them?
We spend all our time lecturing the kids in the council schemes, and we tell them, your parents are no good. Your parents, they drink too much, they smoke too much, they watch the wrong programmes on the telly, they don't bring you up right. What the solution to your problems is, get yourself to college, get yourself in a training course and go to some kind of self-improvement course. For heaven's sake, no wonder that there's trouble going on, because we are sending such a message to their kids that is disrespectful of their own backgrounds, their own communities and their own parents. What do the politicians have to say about that?
So my question would be, what would the parties do to break up those concentrations of poverty without simply dispersing the poor people and their families from the communities that belong to?
Okay, right.
Only 2 volunteers working a large project at Lead Dogs. I'm getting no help at all. I've applied for lottery funding. I'm still waiting for lottery funding. I see this as an incentive for young people in North Edinburgh. We see them in Granton knocking up the streets, causing problems. It gets a bad influence in the area, and also in parts of Leith and New Haven. I've got an excellent project at Lead Docks here along. It's a trawler. I'm restoring it, trying to restore it as a visitor centre for Lead Docks to bring incentive to the community. But I'm getting no help at all with it. Thank you.
With 3 children, and about 20% of every neighbourhood are children and young people. I tried to persuade my 12-year-old son to come down here to ask the politicians about an issue that he's been campaigning on, which is a skate park and a number of other initiatives for him and his friends. And he said, no, I won't come because they'll only talk down on me. And I feel that the panel should be asked about prospect and commitments to young people in Leith and what we can do to find more meaningful use of green spaces and other facilities.
Can I urge you to make your question more pointed, because I can guarantee you everyone will say that youth is fabulous, they take it right seriously, and it's just the very dab.
Okay, we went to a skate park like they have in Dundee and one or two other places, and we went it within 12 months. I've been waiting for 5 years.